Hello, everybody. Glenn Brandon, webmaster of two-trailertrucker.com. And what a week we have had. I think we can end that sentence with a couple of exclamation points. A lot's been going on. Um, where do we start? With me is Big TV. You see him scowling there. He is deep in
Oh,
thought.
you see me squinting?
Trying.
You can
Yeah.
still see me? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I got to take care of the money side of it first, man. Let
Uh
me
huh.
let me go. We are monetized. Okay, let me make sure I'm monetized.
I'm still I'm
I
still
need all
waiting
the
for
pennies.
I'm
Yeah, I
still
need
waiting for
all
my
my pennies,
15
man.
cents, you know. I
Oh, your
expect a
15
check
cents?
any
Hey,
day.
man.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right with y'all. We are live and we are making money. Let's do it. All right, Glenn.
Okay. First of all, you want to chirp in, you people out there in internet land, feel free to do so. Just like Kyle and no weirdos allowed. Uh, please comment on if you're on Facebook on Two Trailer Trucker and the group, or if you're watching on YouTube at Two Trailer Trucker and at Bink TV. We are very interested in getting your comments this morning. That's what this is all about. Uh, Keep everything civilized. Uh, no blame game here. And I'll tell you my thoughts on that here in a few minutes. We are just here, a bunch of yellow employees, drivers getting together, and we're going to see what we can all figure out. Uh,
Okay.
so, uh, basically, what got us here? Last year, Yellow decided they had a bigger, better idea, and they tried it out in the West Coast. Didn't go over that great, but they did it in cooperation with the union. And so that was good. But it didn't work out great, or else they would not have shipped several thousand drivers from the East and the Midwest out West to handle things. I think we all agreed on that one. So they decided, well, this bigger, better idea is going to work great on the East Coast and Midwest. And the only problem was what they wrote it up as totally obliterated the master freight agreement for YRC/Yellow. The union would have nothing to do with it. They approach them, say, we've got problems here. You're blowing up the contract. And instead of talking to the union and trying to settle things out, their next proposal doubled down on it and made it even worse. I think we're all agreed on that one. We had a change in union leadership in DC, and they had pretty much promised that the concession stand was closed, a famous phrase of theirs. We had been given concessions for 14 years. And everybody that I talked to on the road, I don't know about you, Bink, but the concession stand out here with rank and file was pretty much closed.
Yeah, same here in Atlanta.
And so the company one day in her infinite wisdom decided to stop contributing to Central State's Health and Welfare Fund, to which brought a 72-hour notice from the company, maybe from the union. The union sent 72-hour strike notice, as I just said, and the company started ramping things down, which was to be expected. At the last second, the union, after talking to Central States, got a 30-day reprieve on the health and welfare. Okay, we dodged that bullet. Now, let's see what happens. The union and the company got together on a Zoom meeting Sunday night going into Monday. The union said, give us that $11 proposal. And here's our other thoughts. Let's talk about this. The company came back, said, we can't do that $11 proposal anymore. That's where the last that I've heard between the union and the company. Meanwhile, the company has not been picking up freight in over a week now. As you can tell, there's no freight in the there's very little freight in the system. So where we're at right now, we're in limbo. On Friday, the company discharged a lot of non-union employees, managers, supervisors, and the like. The union people have not been discharged. We have not been laid off. There has been no formal notice of such. So, in fact, right now I am on call. Didn't plan on it, but I am. However, we don't know where things stand. Terminals are being manned by one person, at least line haul. They go and do their thing, go home. Corporate lodging cards have been turned off. Fuel cards have been turned off. I've heard rumors that the company credit card has been turned off for the managers. What happens if you do decide to run and you break down is anybody's guess. So if you're new to our platforms and you're wondering just what the hell's been going on, that's what has been leading up to it. Where we're at right now, nobody seems to know. I did have a conversation with our BA yesterday, and we're just shrugging our shoulders. We don't know. I told about what happened with CF back in 2002, but there were very little parallels since CF went bankrupt, and then we cleared out the system. So if you're a line haul employee or you have not received a notice saying you've been laid off or terminated, I would consider yourself still employed by Yellow. There's no other way to go about that. So that is what we're looking at that on this Sunday morning. Bink?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we still most of the drivers still have the ELDs. Don't turn them in until you get your last bit of money from them. Get every last dime from them. And I think if you turn everything in, what are you saying? You quit or something like that. I would just say don't turn it in unless they ask for them.
Well, we've had a few drivers here. I'm based out of Indianapolis that have been asked by one person in the office for their ELD and their cards. Other people were said, no, hold on to them. I still have my ELD and all that. And the ELD is working, but only inside the truck. They are not being sent to the mainframe. The information is not synchronizing with the mainframe in wherever. And one driver told me yesterday that it took forever to get that ELD to go.
Wow. So we got a mess on our hands, man. This is my first time actually dealing with a company shutting down like this. So it's one hell of an experience.
It's my second one personally, third one with the family. My wife had this happen when she worked for an airline. And no matter how many times it happens, it sucks.
Yeah, it sucks big time, man. You have to be strong to work with a union shop. I can tell you that, especially if you're working with a company that's having financial issues. This is one heck of an experience. I've been doing YouTube and I've been getting a lot of people on over here. A lot of people look to me for, what to do. I mean, listen, man, I gave you the route to get you a CDL. I'm not going to say free, because you had to learn how to drive a truck, and you put in some work for that. But I gave you the plug on how to get a CDL, where you get paid to get it. That's all I can do. And one thing about it, if the company shut down, you get to keep that CDL. So,
Okay, okay,
you
JL
know,
is on here. Let's bring him up. Hey, JL, good
Hey,
morning.
good morning. How you guys doing? Hey, I, I
we're
got
Well,
doing great.
hey, I got
what
the
do you have?
time mixed up. I'm in the central time. It's 8 o'clock my time.
Oh, it's 8 o'clock. Oh, I figured that. Something told me to because I sent him a link to the broadcast. What's going on, JL, man? You've been making some news lately, man. You're a popular man.
Yeah, nothing much. Yeah, I got pretty popular for saying the wrong things. Actually, I didn't try to sound harsh with it, but it comes out harsh. So I apologize to anybody that take it the wrong way.
So you are a yellow slash YRC, wherever the hell we are today, driver or
I'm a driver. I'm out of
okay,
OKC. Yeah.
cool, okay. And what are you seeing, or what are you seeing out there?
Actually, they called me yesterday and asked that I want to run. They said it's gonna be turns only, and I told them I'll see, but they never called me back. But it's just like everywhere else, it's dead. They
They
got a little
did
plate.
dispatch some drivers here in Indianapolis, and that's exactly what they did. They did turns, came back, and that was it. So that's the same thing here in Indy.
Yeah, because we didn't hear nothing from the union. I didn't hear nothing from Yellow, saying that it was officially shut down. Man, I got into a big argument with one of my buddies, man, over that. He went to ABF, and congrats to him for going over there, keeping the union. But I'm just like, nah, it's not over. He's like, oh, you holding out hope? Nah, I'm not holding out hope. The simple fact is there's been nothing official. You know, yeah, everything says it's a wrap, but we haven't received anything official. So,
Uh, the thing about it is some weird stuff happened on Friday. Stuff that is way beyond my comprehension. I just try to manage my bank account, let alone $1 billion corporation. However, somebody at fund did go through and buy a bunch of yellow stock on Friday.
right.
Yeah, I seen that. They said they got
And
like 13 million shares or something like that.
I don't recall the exact
Yeah, it was
number.
like, yeah, that's about right. It was like 12.7, yeah, 13 million. Yeah.
So who knows? The fact they haven't laid us off, the fact that they're still calling some of us. Like I said, you talk about sitting by the phone having to wait a union job. I think we're all in that position right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Uh,
I think what they're gonna do is I think they're gonna close a lot of terminals and they're gonna try to downsize a lot. But I don't. At least since they haven't said it, I don't think they're gonna file Chapter 7. I believe they might file Chapter 11.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, this could be another, hard layoff for a couple of years. They call you back in a year or two, start bringing us back in. And I guess those that are in good situations probably won't come back, and if you're not in a good situation, I guess you'll come back. You know, because I seen
but
that before at the last when y'all had the last layoff. I was working at Honda doing auto parts, and the last layoff we had a lot of yellow drivers in 2012 when Yellow called them back. I mean, it was about 12 people scram, man. They at one time they like, we out of here, man. I'm not doing no more touch freight. So
well, I came back in. I was laid off for 2 years for the merger from 2009 to 2011,
mhm.
and I was running over the road 3 to 5 weeks at a time in a truck, living in sleepers. And when they gave me the call, it's sort of like, thank you, thank you. Still took my 2 weeks because I wanted to leave on good terms. And in fact, just a few months ago, that same company called me up and said, would you be willing to come back to work for us? No, I'm
Mm.
happy where I'm at. But don't. Now, another thing I want to bring up is there are drivers or employees who have deductions taken out of their paycheck weekly. I know I did. And that disability insurance or whatever you have that comes straight out of your paycheck, I would strongly urge you to get a hold of those companies and find out what Plan B is. I did that with, I had disability insurance for years since I came, well, about 11 years since I came back from layoff.
Right.
And I diverted that to where I now pay that on a monthly basis personally, do a bank
Gotcha.
draft. So if you are out there and you have deductions coming out straight out of your paycheck, you may want to get a hold of those people and see what you needs to be worked out. Hate for you to all of a sudden not have a paycheck, and then to compound the fact that you've just been laid off, then you've got people coming after you for payment. So you definitely want to think about that, and because I did that before we were supposed to go on strike, and so everything is fine there. But I strongly urge people to do that
Yeah,
because right
definitely.
now we don't know what's going on.
Yeah, definitely be prepared, man. Be prepared for whatever, man. Like, what do you recommend? A lot of these younger drivers do at this point. As far as should they hold out? Should they wait to see what happens? Should they go find other jobs, or just do what they got to do?
Do what you have to do. Your number one job is to take care of your family. That's always number one. And back in the day, just I was at CF. They only called us on weekends, so drivers would go out and get a gig during the week, and then on weekends they take their work off, kept their stuff going. They kept money coming in.
Okay.
Every driver, everybody is different. Your financial situation is different. My financial situation is probably a lot different than Jay's or with you, Bink.
Right.
So you've all, my family is raised. I'm okay. A lot of people just started. You're not okay. We get that. So I would suggest get a hold of a Union Steward, talk to them, see what they're hearing.
Right.
Maybe call the terminal, talk to your boss if you're good terms with them. See what they're seeing, what they recommend, or what their outlook is. Don't be surprised if they don't tell you anything, because personally, I don't think they know either. I think they're flying by the seat of their pants.
Yeah, that was the same thing. I got into an argument with my buddy, but and I apologize if I came across. I know he watched. I apologize if I came across a little harsh, but at the end of the day, listen, man. Everybody's talking out the side of their neck. I don't care if it's management, unless you're one of these execs, that's meeting with the Teamsters directly. I don't believe nothing that come out of anybody's mouth, man. It's just a bunch of hearsay. We don't know what's going to happen at this point. Nothing's been official.
Just remember what Abraham Lincoln once said: "Don't believe everything you read on the internet."
I got you. Yeah.
That's true. I started saving when they first started going through this mess. I started saving probably about a month ago because I had a feeling something crazy was gonna happen. When Mr. O'Brien released that Tombstone or Yellow, I man, I think they're gonna run a lot of customers away. So I just thought I put a lot of money away just in case if I lose my job, I can go with 2 months without working. I don't have to rush into the next thing. And like Two Trailer said, my situation is different. I don't have to rush into the next situation. Now I don't want to use the money. Now I rather just put it back up. I don't want to use it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, see, when Consolidated Freightways, you're a little young. I'm an old codger. But when Consolidated Freightways shut down in 2002, my financial situation was horrible. I took a job that I had no business taking, and I worked for them for 7 months. They ripped me off, treated me horribly, and then my wife just said, "Call Roadway." I did what my wife says. I mean, we all do. And, I'm here and I got away from that company. But I took that job because I was broke. I needed the money.
Yeah.
Here, not so much. I'm just going to try to sit back as much as I can, see what happens, and then take it from there. But like I said, it's just everybody's situation is different. If you quit, if you just say screw it, I wouldn't tell the company that.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, how does that work? Right, because
I
I'm
do ask the
trying to
same
figure out
question.
how does that work? Because in order to get a call back, so you just don't want to put in a formal resignation, or
I don't know.
yeah, because if I'm in a bad situation and 3 years from now and Yellow just happened to call me back, because I hear they just call you back out of the blue and you got a certain amount of time to respond.
2 weeks.
You got 2
2
weeks to
weeks.
respond if you want to
Right.
come back or not, and you get to keep all of your seniority.
Right. If you
All
get
right,
laid
guys.
off, they send you a letter in the mail, or they because I got laid off a lot of times, and they let you know, hey, you're going to be laid off, or they send you a letter in the mail, and then you're let loose. Then they call you up out of the blue one day and say, you're being recalled. When do you want to plug the board? And it's like, well, I'm entitled to 2 weeks, right? Yeah. Okay, 2 weeks. Then I got a hold of my employer at the time, said, hey, I just been called back, and I'm giving you my notice. When do you want cut this off?
Right.
And so that way, if you need them again, they're there for you. Especially if you've done a great job.
Okay.
And then that way, if you don't want to go back, if you need them and you don't want to go back, you don't have to worry about a bad recommendation. And Melanie just commented on here. It's a very good point. If you are laid off, do put in for a withdrawal card.
What
If
does that
you
mean?
are
Sorry, what does that mean?
a withdrawal card is. Let me get this off of there. Okay, a withdrawal card means that you're withdrawing from the union.
Oh,
And that you're withdrawing on good terms. That also means that they will not be expecting union dues from you. So if you are called back, then you're not liable for the back union dues.
I didn't
Oh,
know that.
okay. Yeah, somebody was
So
just
if
telling
you
me that.
don't take a withdrawal card, then you're still a union member, quote, in good standing,
Okay.
and they're going to expect their $66 a month out of you. Well, if you let that lapse, you're not going to be a member in good standing. Whereas with the withdrawal card, you are. You're not a member of the Teamsters. But when they call you back, you call them up, say, hey, I got recalled. I'll be back to work on Monday. Okay, we'll put you back on. Just like that.
Okay. Nice.
Now, once upon a time, there was a big fee for that withdrawal card. And a lot of people had problems paying that 50 cents. So I don't think they're
50 cents?
asking. Yeah.
Okay.
Literally, it was 50 cents to get a withdrawal card back in the day. I don't think they're doing that anymore. But if you do find yourself formally laid off or terminated, do take a withdrawal card and get with your local union, because each one has a different form, layout, or whatever. You definitely want to get with your local union and say, hey, I've just been laid off. Okay, you need to get a withdrawal card. Fine. Take it.
Okay, so Kyle Johnson said you can pay the $66 a month if you can afford it. Would you recommend something like that just to stay in the union, where they can possibly find you a better job? Because I know living in a right to work state, it doesn't work like it does up north. I mean, like a lot of non-right to work states pretty much find you another job. I mean, they got plenty to choose from. But I know in the South, it's they're not obligated to find us another union job.
The thing about that is, and this is the ugly truth about working in a union company, is that there are a lot of companies that will not hire you because you worked in a union.
I know.
You go in, you'll fill out the application, and soon get 2 steps toward the door, and it's already in the circular file.
I put a lot of applications, boy. Nobody called me back.
Well, the thing
Oh
about that
man,
is, right now the economy is soft.
yeah, you're gonna have to know
Uh,
somebody, man. You're gonna have to know somebody
and
to get in the
so people
non-unions.
are so y'all got me distracted. Thank you very much. But you don't want to go into, especially a non-union company, with a team being a teamster, because one, they'll think you're going to try to organize. You're going to try to organize them. When you go to a non-union company, you got to leave the teamster and the union behind. You got to leave that at the car or at their house, because you're not one anymore if you take a withdrawal card. If you go into a company and you still have that, then you're going to feel like a teamster. It's okay to feel and conduct yourself professionally, because you believe me or not believe it, you will. I've been told that. I never bring the teamster stuff with me to a new job, a non-union job. I'm working under their rules. So and they're paying me a lot more than that teamster job is right now. So I'm working underneath their rules. So personally, take the withdrawal card. Don't pay the $66, because things get tight. What happens?
Well,
So I've always been told since day one, because I got laid off 3 months after I started at Roadway. I got laid off quite a few times at CF when I worked there for 3 years. And each time the union stewards were saying, "Don't forget your withdrawal card." So I wouldn't, I wouldn't, I wouldn't stay on unless you are definitely
okay.
working at a Teamster job. And
Yeah.
plus, by taking a withdrawal card, if you go to another union company, you may get away from having to pay their initiation fees,
Gotcha.
because you left the Teamsters in good standing.
Okay.
Because on the withdrawal card it says reason for leaving. Well, you've been laid off,
Right.
so you're leaving in good standing.
So do we go to the union hall and just ask for it? Because me personally, they don't like me. The union don't. So
Oh, you look
yeah.
charming to me. You seem like a charming
Nah,
young man to me.
he
they
Uh,
must,
hate me.
he must don't know. He
He
must
don't know.
don't know. I don't think he know what's going on here.
He don't know. They don't like me.
Oh yeah, he's not a like person. He's
first,
not a like person right now. I mean,
first
my
impressions
thing
are
is,
first
he's a
impressions
good
are always
guy.
the most important, right?
Listen, man, but it's something that I promote, man. Uh, with this union stuff, everybody got a right to their opinion. And he's a man with a point of view. He's a younger man, but he has a point of view. And I have no problem with that. Do I agree with him 100%? No, I don't agree with my wife 100%. I don't agree with anybody 100% on anything. But he has a point of view, and what he's saying is valid. And I think a lot more people need to speak up, because a lot of people, whether they say it out loud or not, they have an opinion that's probably different from the normal here's stuff that you hear in the break rooms. Pro teams to shut it down and this and that. There's people with different points of views that feel differently, that feel like, no, they should stay open. The changes aren't that bad. Maybe Yellow do need to go through some changes to be profitable. Some people actually feel like that, because I tell you right now, just from even going through the Facebook post in the beginning of all of this, shut it down. The hell, we're the Teamsters, this and that. Then as Yellow start pulling some stuff away, now everybody like, oh, wait a minute, you go out there filling out some applications and getting to look at them benefits and the work coach at some of these other places is like, wait a minute, this Yellow stuff ain't that bad. This is this is actually a cushy job compared to some of that stuff that's out there, whether people believe it or not. They look at our equipment and just, they feel sorry for us, I guess, but they don't realize what a Cadillac of a job this is as a job. with the free benefits and things of that nature. And the money is not that bad compared to other LTL companies. And I don't know where this people have a problem putting their calculators together. You put those numbers together, these non-unions are not beating us that bad.
That's what we're saying.
Well,
That's what
yes,
I'm
they
saying.
are. Yes, they are. I disagree with you. I disagree with you on that.
I can't. But when you're able to,
Relax,
I guess it becomes. It depends on your work ethic. We're here because one thing about Yellow, they're gonna let you work as hard as you want, and they'll let you be as lazy as you want. That's one thing about it. It's hard to make money here. It's hard to make money because it's so easy to take off and kind of do what you want to do. Once you learn how to finesse the system, but it's up to you. You can make as much as you want here.
Okay. T. Hill just sent a question in. Said, did mismanagement of the money cause YRC failure? Yes. If you're a union employee, you have nothing to hang your head down about. You can hold your head up high. This was not the product of anything that you did or the Teamsters did. The Teamsters were exactly the opposite. They were trying everything they could. An analogy that I've been making recently is that of the enabler. You have a relative who keeps saying, I need $10 more, I need $10 more, or I need $100 or whatever. And you feel guilty. You love them. You want to help them. So you give them the $10 or the $100. Right. And they keep asking, well, I'm going to change. I'm going to change. This is what I'm doing. And then a few weeks later, they come back for the other $10 or $100. At some point, the person that loves that person says, I'm sorry, I love you too much. No more. You're going to have to do things right. We're at that point now with Yellow, in my humble opinion. I've been here, I just got my 20 years and 3 days in. Jay, how long have you been here?
2 years and 6 months.
Okay, and Bink, you've been here, what, 30 days?
No, about 30, about 7 years, man.
Okay. So you just come to a point, especially for us old timers, where we've been here for the whole ride. And we just say, enough's enough. We love our job. We love the people. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jay.
You said the old timers says enough is enough. If it's enough is enough and they don't like the way they've been treated, I don't understand. If they want their company closed, what's the difference in them quitting and let the people who want us to be here stay here? What's the difference?
We don't want to leave. We like it. We feel the same way as you do and as Bink does. We have our pensions to think about, even though it's not as great as what we were told when we signed on. What we signed on for, it's taking a shot. But we stay on because, one, no matter how the old crotchety old timer will tell you, we have a second family here. You'll never find another trucking company or where you come on board and you're not ostracized. You're welcomed in. You're given phone numbers to everybody in the break room. If you need any help, there's this nerd in Indianapolis that started up a website to help everybody. And believe me, I don't get any pay for that. That's all out of my pocket, but it helps people. Yeah. You're not going to find that kind of camaraderie anywhere else. As old timers, we're pretty much locked in. I've got 5 maybe years of before I could think I could retire where I'll be all right. Yeah. But we have also worked our way from the bottom of where you're at and where the newbies are. And believe me, I was in your exact same position 20 years ago, 15 years ago. Why don't these old farts leave already if they hate the jobs that much? And then when you become an old fart like me, you understand why.
No. See,
Believe me, we've all done it. Don't try to
see,
say no. We know better.
I agree with you saying, but also I have to acknowledge that a lot of the old guys, I keep saying old, I mean older guys who work for Yellow. The old, you keep saying old sound rude. It keep making it
Look
sound
at the
like
gray hairs, my
No,
friend. Look at the gray hairs.
they old and stupid. Come on, go
yeah,
say
yeah,
it like you
yeah.
say.
Don't be
Come
saying
on
that. Yeah. I
now.
think some of those guys they've been here so long and they forgot what's out there. A lot of those guys
Exactly.
I hear in the break room all the time. They trash Yellow a lot. They say Yellow is the worst thing in the world. So I debate with them all the time. But I say, you guys been at Yellow too long. You guys don't even hook your own sets here. You just come into work and just do the pre-trip and leave. You guys got it easy here. It's easy.
You are exactly right, Jay.
All right, let's
There
get
are
into
people
let's
here.
do
There
it.
are people here. There are people here who have never worked non-union. I have. I know what it's like to sit at a dock and not get paid for it.
Come
I
on now.
know it. I've yeah.
Sit
I've
24
been
hours.
there.
Yeah, you sit
Yeah.
24 hours in a dock. See, they don't know about
But
this. They just
no.
think these people are coming here and because I hear it a lot. These guys think they coming here making money and this and that. And for the record, I've made more money than I made at Honda than I make at Yellow. Yellow is just a decent job, man. Listen,
The problem with
listen.
Yellow.
So it's not listen. When you go over the road, when you get out there in them streets, that's what I'm gonna call it. When you get out there in them streets and you sit in that dock for 24 hours and get paid $15 for sitting 24 hours in somebody's dock door with nothing to do, they barely want you to come in there and use the bathroom, and you sitting in the truck. Yeah, they're making 75 cents a mile, but they only running about 1,000 to 1,500 miles a week, and they sitting in the dock doors for free. We getting paid for everything we do. If we're not driving, we're on the clock. When we arrive at work, we're getting paid for everything we do. If we're not driving, we're on the clock. Period. And you're not going to find that
Exactly.
at a lot of places.
But
What you said about the let me get this one off. But what he was
Sure.
saying about the dropping and hooking and stuff like that, not hooking your own sets. When you think about it, shout out to my one of my buddies, Daycap Slim. He drives for Estes. I was talking to him about 2 weeks ago. I was like, so what do you do when you come in off of your line haul run? What do you do? He was like, well, I pull up. When I pull up, I put my trailers to the door, and I fuel my truck, and then I go home. How much you get paid for that? Well, I just get paid $9 for the drop and hook, and then I go home. How many people at Yellow at a break bulk terminal does it take just to do that?
Right.
Think about it. It take damn near 4 or 5 people just to break and build a damn set at Yellow. With its non-unions, and this is what Yellow has to compete with. They got to compete with Old Dominion, where they drive Old Dominion SDs, where they just use one person to do their dropping hooks, put trailers to the door. Even at T-Force. Even at T-Force is like that. I know people that work at UPS Freight, T-Force. They do the same thing. They put their trailers to the door. You're not gonna sit on the dock at T-Force. You're gonna go hop on that dock and do some loading. You're not about to just sit in the break room and collect money.
See, that's why I tell a lot of guys here. Before I came in Yellow, I was a mechanic at FedEx Freight. I worked at FedEx Freight before I came to Yellow. I was a mechanic there. Now, we have call blocks at Yellow, right? I don't know how you guys call blocks work. Our call blocks is every 6 hours. So just say they call us at 12 o'clock at noon, and they tell us to be at 2. But when we get there, our set ain't ready to 5 o'clock. So we get paid 3 hours to wait till that set get paid, and also the hustlers get paid to take forever to hook the set. So look how much money Yellow losing. How about they just pay me just 45 minutes or however it take me to hook my set, and I can go on instead of me waiting 3 hours at a terminal.
Yeah, we love it. I love it, and what and let's not get it twisted. What makes this job gravy is the union. The union, is what makes this job what it is. But some of this stuff, a lot of younger people, we feel like it may be a little outdated. It may be a little outdated to compete with the rest of the LTL companies. Because how can they compete when it take 3 or 4 people just to break a set? You got one guy, his job is to roll down the landing gears. pull all the hoses apart. You got another guy, his job is to pull the truck and fuel the truck. You got another guy, his job is to put the trailers to the door. And then when they got to build it, they got to do everything in reverse. So we're talking 3 or 4 people just to break and build sets.
Okay.
That's beautiful for us. I love it. I love coming to work and just not having to sweat and rolling my bag. And I know I got that, due to the benefits, but I think it's an outdated practice because the way that should work, it should work like an assembly line. It should be one of the most proficient ways to move freight, but it's not. It's just costing them money at this point.
Okay. Are you okay?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We getting it off, man.
Now let me
it up a little bit, man.
Now let me put my 2 cents worth in on this.
All right.
Okay. When you come in, they call you to work. They give you a 2-hour work call, or in your case, in Oklahoma City, you have a 6-hour work call. So they know when to expect you there. Okay. The delays are in them not getting the freight ready for you. The freights are not of our making. The delays are made outside of our making. Okay. So when they call you, say, we got a St. Louis turn for you. See, we have call blocks throughout the day, top and bottom of the hour, 15 minutes each way. So we're on the clock constantly. I mean, as far as a work call, we go in there. If everything runs smooth, go in there, do paperwork, do pre-trip, and I'm out of there. My hours don't get eaten up. I do a thorough pre-trip. Anything wrong, I take it to the shop. Mechanic works on it, slaps me on the butt, sends me off on my way. I come in. I may have done 500, 600-mile turn or something like that. I come in, I park, I go home. My rest begins. I'm eligible for the company again in 8 for 10 hours. Whereas if you go to a terminal and they want you to break down the set and unload your freight, how are you expanding freight? Because you're on the dock, you're not available for rest yet. Therefore, you're not providing any benefit for the company except for them that not have to hire somebody. But the idea of me coming into work, everything's ready. I get on the road. I delivered freight down the road 2 to 3 hours ahead of somebody else. They had to load their trailer, string them up, fuel the tractors, do all that. That takes time. And a lot of companies do not pay for that. So, I do not badmouth. I won't say badmouth. I sometimes get frustrated too when I get called and my load's not ready and I'm waiting 2 hours and I'm looking at the watch and boy, it's gonna be tight. I let the supervisor know. Nice kid. I let the supervisor know. I leave it in their, what they want to do. But by the same, no, go ahead and keep it on, Jay. You're fine. And
I know you can hear him in the background, like your son.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I heard. No problem. I used to have one of them once. Now he's 30 and still a pain in the ass. But there is a reason why this works well. When it works great.
Yeah.
It works great.
See,
now, what's the fault of the loads not being ready for you? That's not on us. That's where one supervisor on the dock may say, I don't want to send that trailer out right now. It don't have enough freight on it. I'm going to wait an hour for this to come in.
A lot of times, that's not the issue at our terminal. A lot of times, it's the hustlers. Even, let's say, a couple of hustlers call and there are 2 hustlers out there. OKC is a kind of a big hub. So if a couple of hustlers call in, there's not enough hustlers to hook all the sets, and that kills the problem. So I asked the dispatch plenty of time about since it's out there, it's ready to hook. Why don't you send me out there to hook it? They're like, we can't. They'll file a grievance on you. I'm like, who cares, man? It helps them out. They can get paid hourly regardless.
How many times have you gone to St. Well, Trey, St. Louis is a laydown, but I've gone to St. Louis and had to string up my own sets, and they will
I have.
gladly pay you that, and they will gladly pay you the triple time for that, because that's the ben. You're getting in and out, and what may take a hustler an hour or to do, basically I can do in half an hour, 45 minutes, including scaling the set out. Each terminal has different tolerances or agreements that they've worked out with locally on that. I know of other terminals have done that in Indy. That's a big flat no. And because the hustlers are our Teamsters brothers. Yeah, we don't want to squeeze them out of a job. But same token, too, granted, they may drag their feet a little bit. There ought to be. Don't you nod your head at me, Bink. I can see you.
Hey, man, listen, man. We gotta be realist in this, man. We have to be. We can't just. It can't be this business as usual. This thing is supposed to run like this is supposed to be a streamlined line system that we have here at Yellow. No, this is to take the pressure off of the line haul guy so he don't have to work so hard. It's supposed to work in unison, and it's supposed to be a faster process, but it's not. For whatever reason. I mean, this is a huge company. Like, I got a buddy at ABF. He'll tell you right now, I only got 0.25 in delay pay since I've been there. In delay time, when he come to work, he only got 1 0.25 at ABF because they're running it efficiently. They're not calling you unless that load is ready. Pretty much,
right.
It's ready.
That's
to be
the way
pulled.
it should be. It's the way it
right,
should be.
And that's the way it should be. But it's not over here. Maybe because we're a bigger company. ABF, they have smaller. Their terminals are further away. They don't have as many terminals as us. So maybe they can run theirs a little bit more efficiently. But Yellow, that's not the case. This place is huge, man. This place is they the third biggest LTL company. I mean, they on the same. They're about the same size as what? FedEx Freight. I mean, this place is huge. So you have to make some changes. Don't get it twisted. I know all of the luxuries of Yellow is based on my union, on the Teamsters. Thank you, but this is when you start listening. You got to listen. When somebody say "but," that's when you got to start listening.
And I'm listening.
Non-unions has gotten too big. We let the non-unions get too big. Non-unions, they just offer a better service. They'll go into these damn places and they'll deliver the freight and sweep the floors and clean the bathrooms. We're not offering. It's not that deep for us, but we're not offering the same service, and they just happen to be bigger and they're able to get, and they're privy to the same customers that we have, and that's who we're up against. We're up against Old Dominion and Sire, and they're able to move their freight way more efficiently than Yellow, and our system needs to be changed. I don't know how it needs to be changed, but our system needs to be changed.
Okay, let me Bob Avery, who I know, he's an Indy driver, asked what our insurance situation is. Well, since we have not been terminated or laid off, and I heard from a source at the union that he hadn't heard anything back. I would assume we still have insurance. If you have any doubts, call Central States or your the union or whoever handles your health and welfare, and check with them Monday on what your status is currently. You realize when we started here, where I started back in '99, all we did was drive a tractor up to a stop line and we got out. Then I came over the roadway, and then all of a sudden we had, does stop line, does go to the fuel line, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, a little bit of adjustment. I don't want to see, like I said, what has brought us here right now is not because of the hustlers. They did not bring us to this point now. The dock workers who work their asses off, and I appreciate every single one of them. I really do. They do not want to see road drivers on the dock because, one, they feel threatened. I understand that. Two, they don't want to see the carnage of us, getting hurt. I get that too, because that would probably be me. What got us here was pure, simple mismanagement by the company. The company came out with their change of operation initially, and it called for meet and turns. There wasn't a darn thing wrong with the meet and turns. The problem was going to be dispatching them out, because in Columbus, Ohio, they did a bunch of them. And when it works, it works. And when somebody decides to hold the trailer up, waiting on another one to get one more shipment on there for numbers reasons, it messes up the whole chain. And I've seen it up close and personal. So if a meet and turn would work, it would work great. The problem was they were wanting to go to the Holland work rules. If you ever read them, you just shake your head, and it takes you about 5 readings to get through because the headaches come on, which were antiquated. They were not designed for a company this size or with this much going on. They don't even have doubles pay at Holland. I guess they do now, but going into it, they didn't.
Right.
So the problem is not with our brothers on the dock. It's not with our hustlers, even though sometimes they can be a little squirrely. Granted, it's not with the mechanics, whether you're a Teamster or with the International Association of Machinists. All the problems go to the corporate office. The union has tried to work with them, and they've been rebuffed. Is this a way for them to go under and try to put the blame on the Teamsters? I firmly believe that.
I think they should accept some of the blame. I think it's 70 to 80% yellow management, and the rest of it is the Teamsters. Yes, because XPO, they work the dock. Their drivers turn out just fine. When I worked at FedEx Freight, those drivers work the dock, and I'm pretty sure some more LL drivers work the dock. So I don't understand why a lot of drivers don't work the dock. And secondly, I read in the comment when Yellow released that thing, it says you will work the dock only from 175 miles from your home terminal. So that don't mean you're gonna drive 9 hours and work the dock. No, it don't state that. It states that you're gonna be a utility worker, and you basically gonna do that every day, so you know your job detail. If that's not part of your job detail, you will not work the dock.
But it also, if you read the last letter of agreement that they came out with, aka Memorandum of Understanding, it said at the bottom that the road driver would do all tasks assigned. So throw the 175 miles out of the window. Otherwise,
so
you would come in, you would load your trailers, you would string them up, fuel them up, stab them, take off, rinse and repeat.
Can I say something real quick with this guy, Jason? He said it's not matter.
I'll put it up here.
Yeah, I can't even read right now. Hold on. Okay. It does matter.
It's not a matter of drivers not wanting to work the dock. It's a matter of taking work from another brother.
It does matter because it helps the company. If you guys don't want to work the dock and everybody lose their job, now tell me, those Teamsters brothers, what job do they have now? Because y'all didn't want to work the dock. So you actually took their job away because some of you drivers didn't want to work the dock.
Okay. How many non-union positions out there are having them work the docks? I know 2 that are not. And they're the big ones. Well, there's not big ones. Yeah. Saya, and they train you on the forklift for the possibility of it. I talk to a driver at Estes every once in a while. He's doing 600 miles. He don't touch a stick of freight. He goes in there. He has to string his sets up. Granted, he gets paid for it, but he don't touch a stick of freight. So, and he's doing 600-mile turns. Now, the thing is, when are some, how do I put this? I'm going to be an old fart here again. I did not, when I started at CF way back in the old days, CF wanted the union to allow the drivers, or wanted the drivers to be able to come in 2 hours early and load the trailers. The union said, hell no. They had CF, Conway or CCX at that time. They had separated, but the thing was still there. People would come from Conway over to us. We never had people go from CF to Conway. The people that don't mind loading their trailers and will do with that. There are people who don't want to do that. Now, what the company has to figure out is, does the gain benefit the risk? Because if they say, okay, Glenn, you're going to have to come in, you're going to have to load your own set, blah, 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 just discussed. Do you think that I will stick around? That's a decision that I would have to make. And each individual driver would make at the kitchen table. I know a lot of drivers, newbies as well as old timers, have said, hell no. That's not what I signed up for. So what the company has, and they're not, if they're listening to the union, it don't seem like it to me. Because basically, the drivers do not, predominantly, majority, I haven't had one person say, well, I've had one person maybe say as a maybe. No, that's not what I want to do. So if they were to do that, how many people do you think would leave? Would it benefit the company to have freight on the dock and nobody to work it because nobody wants to do that? And not only that, but you lose a road driver.
I mean,
well, if they come up with some decent pay to go along with that, they'll probably have a newer, younger workforce a little faster. I see guys, our hustlers at my terminal love these guys, and I'm not wanting anybody to lose their jobs. I'm not trying to take my work from brothers, but if we use our, common sense just says something has to be done for this company to be profitable. I don't know what that looks like. This might be it. This might be it. They might need to just shut down and start all over, because you can't. Bottom line, you can't run a company like this and make money in this atmosphere, because the union. I blame the union for letting OD. For not letting OD. For letting OD and Sire get so huge without unionizing them. That was up. We let the non-unions get too big, and they pretty much run the show right now. It used to be union standards, now it's non-union standards. How did we get here? We need to figure out, how did the union let us get here? As a force. So the union has work to do. They have a lot of work to do. When it comes to that aspect. But we just can't. We hate to take work from our union brothers, but something has to be done in order for this company to be profitable. Period. And I'm looking at that as, I invest in this company. I got friends probably they all here. They probably laughing at me right now, because when this news first came, I told them what I felt about it. I went ahead and bought about $200 worth of stock. So. You might give why not? It's cheap. It's for sale. But I might get lucky.
You want to give a shout out to Shaka Zulu?
What up, Shaka Zulu? Dirty Broke, Brandon. Brandon want to know why we the lowest paid LTL company. I don't think we're the lowest paid when you look at our insurance. And if you got a decent work ethic, you're gonna pretty much make the same as non-unions. It's all up to, it's about your work ethic here. And what's gravy about that, I can work as hard as I want, and I can work, and I can be a go-getter, or I can just be lazy as I want to be here, and everybody just gets along, and nobody bothers me. Beautiful job.
I 100% agree with you. Because in the wintertime, I don't know about you guys. I'm at OKC, so we run west. So we go across the Rocky Mountains a lot. So in wintertime, a lot of those guys don't like going across I-70 because they don't like chaining it up. So I raise my hand. I stay in Denver, going back and forth across the Rocky Mountains. I just get it all I can because I know a lot of guys don't want to do it. I know there's a lot of money on the table, so I take it. So
Yeah.
me personally, a lot of my checks at Yellow been over $2,000 a week. So I don't understand when people keep saying we're the lowest paid. Oklahoma City, $2,000 more, over $2,000 take you a long way.
I
Yes,
know
sir.
of I know of two non-union companies are paying 73 to 75 cents a mile.
Okay, so we're looking at just straight mileage. I mean, you can't
Well, and
look at
plus we get paid for what we do too.
right. We get paid for what we do, and a lot of them don't get paid for everything they do. So it's not that what I'm saying. It's not that far off. At the end of the year, if you made 110 and I made 100, with my free benefits, you paying $100 to $200 for your benefits. Listen, man, we're in the same boat. You can't live nowhere I can't live. You can't buy no car that I can't buy. You can't take no trip I can't take a trip on. You know, and my benefits are better than yours, and you paying for yours. So
It don't really matter on how much you make. It's what you do with it once you get it.
bottom line, yep.
Some people can live like a king on $40,000 a year. Other people need $110,000 just to break even. So, when it comes to money, it's not matter what you make; it's what you do with it. On payday.
Right. And we're Yellow. It's the quality of the job. We love this job. This is, if you know, this job is gravy. You're not gonna find a better workplace than Yellow. I mean, it's dysfunctional, but it's a laid back job. Especially once you learn the system. A lot of people that come here, I was doing orientation for a while, and a lot of these young guys, they come here, and it just seemed like the worst place in the world. But you catch them in about 6 months, man, they be like, oh, man, I'm not going nowhere. Now, those are the guys that I worry about because they came fresh out of truck driving school into the LTL, into this environment, and now they got to get out there in the streets and see what's out there. Those are the guys that I worry about. But like you said, don't go into these non-union jobs with the union mentality. It's legal for us to organize. If you feel like you want to try to organize one of these non-unions, that's perfectly legal. They're going to tell you that they can fire you, they can't fire you. So that's a nice little lawsuit. If you go into one of these non-unions and try to unionize them. But if you're working at a decent place and they treating you right, there's no need to try to unionize them.
And you're exactly right, Yonda. It's a matter of having pride in what you do. If you're making, $40,000 a year or $140,000 a year, if you like what you're doing, you never go to work.
Yeah.
But again, let's kind of wrap this up a little bit here. Basically, what do we know right now? Not much. See here, Luke, just give you a super sticker, Bink.
Oh, man, appreciate that, Luke, man. Let's see, room for you guys and your families. And thanks, Bink, for sharing your experiences, man. Man, I appreciate you for watching my content and supporting the channel, man. I've been trying to pit people onto this job. It's been a blessing, man. Just getting the reaction from people that I would see out there, man, that would tell me that I changed their lives and stuff like that. So, I definitely appreciate it.
With twotrailertrucker.com, that's me, by the way. Yeah. I have gotten quite a bit out of it. Of course, I've never asked for $1. Whatever I've gotten has been honest, not honest, but I mean, has been through the kindness of everybody's hearts, and I've appreciated it. I've gotten just as much of enjoyment, even though I was cussing at the computer for hours on end trying to get one little thing right. And I've done it because of my admiration for everybody out there. Jason, you're right. What we know is basically what we knew on Friday, and that's not a whole lot.
Right.
So if you do have, like, I'll repeat what I said earlier when we first started. If you have any questions, call your union stewards, see what they know, see what they recommend, because each terminal is different. Each management at the terminal is different. If you do go elsewhere, remember you're on their turf. I do know for a fact that by driving doubles, and sometimes I drive triples too. I've been in Oklahoma City with triples. That's cool. Driving through downtown Oklahoma City with third one back there.
I pull them all the
No
time.
wonder. Yeah. But you will find that other companies, they take you out for a road test. They'll say usually the same thing. Man, you're smooth. Well, because we don't jerk our trailers around, because if you do that, then you're filling out paperwork at the end of the day on the side of the road. I've been in places when I was laid off, and just something about me, I got to the front of the line and I got put into doors before anybody else did, because I maintained a professional demeanor. I wasn't ranting and raving. I was clean. And I was well spoken. And that kind of stuff you've developed here, because here you take a shower every day, whether you're at a hotel or you're at home. So there are things you can take from your experience here at Yellow onto other companies. But as far as, they want you to do something and not pay you, well, you signed up for that company. Ask them before you come onto a company. What do you, how's this handled? What do you do? Ask them the questions. When you go in for an interview, the best advice I ever got is don't let them interview you. You interview them. Because if you do that, then you're getting your questions answered. And if they don't like your questions, then you're really not missing out on anything. If you have somebody that you're talking to, go, okay, he's a true professional because he's asking me these questions. I just want to see what he's feeling me out. So that way there are no misunderstandings down the road, and, they're in a huff. So whatever time you've had here has been a great experience for you. It's up to you to decide how to use that experience if you have to go on to other pastures.
Exactly. Yeah, you want to interview them, don't let them interview you, man. It's a two-way.
It's a two-way street. Exactly. Right. Exactly.
Right. It's a two-way street, and they actually like that. Have your questions, just pertinent questions that you want, things that you want to know about, man. Just ask the questions, and you should be okay. But it's not that bad out there. It's trucking. One thing about me, I love trucking. I still consider myself an end-dump driver, even though I love Yellow, but I'm an end-dump driver. I love that work, and I love trucking as a whole, so I can do pretty much anything to survive.
But like I said, we're going to try to. If anything pops up, you can check out twotrailertrucker.com on Facebook and Two Trailer Trucker Group if you are a Yellow employee. Bink, I'm sure we'll be addressing some things on your YouTube channel.
Yes, sir. And Jay also got a YouTube channel also. So.
Well, who doesn't have a YouTube channel?
well, we're the only ones. Yeah, we're the only ones, man. We're the only ones really promoting Yellow. So.
Yeah, that's why I created it. When I started Yellow 2 years ago, I went on YouTube to try to find a YouTube channel, and I ran into Bink channel. So I watched all Bink videos. And I see
even with me on there.
Yeah, I watched all of them. Every video Big put out, I watched them. Everyone he had all the guest people on there. I watched all Big videos.
Like me, right? Like me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you too.
You didn't skip it with me on there, right?
No, I didn't skip it. I watched it. I watched all of
them.
Okay. So what happened was I noticed something that Bink he breaks it down a lot. He can do that way better than I can. So I said, instead of talking about it, my channel, I'm gonna show you me going to different terminals and turning the terminal. So that's what my YouTube is about. I try to show the positive side of yellow. That's why none of my videos you can never find me one time dissing yellow. I never said anything. I said something negative about the union, but I never said not one negative thing about yellow.
What's your YouTube channel? Where
Uh,
can we find
J
it on YouTube?
JL for like how it's on the screen 405 life.
Say that again.
JL like JAY, then the letter L connected to the J, then 405 life.
Okay. JL405 life. And
Yeah.
just Google that or search that in the YouTube and you can watch his videos. Of course, I've got my own little channel going there.
Now, can we let Jay? Now, Jay, do you want to state your, because a lot of people are kind of getting on your case about certain things. Do you want to tell them what do you mean by? Go on and clear the air. Go on and clear the air.
Yeah, we can talk.
I don't. What I'm wanting to do here is just to keep. I don't want to get into union bashing because I'm personally the wrong person to bring that up.
It's not union bashing. I mean, he's got a point of view.
I understand, but I'm trying to keep. I'm trying to.
That's cool. That'll be another time.
Yeah. We'll do it again. You got the link, so we'll do it again.
But so, like I said, what we're all our agreement is right now. The situation stinks. We're in a period right now where nobody knows anything. And the rumors are going to be flying. The conspiracy theories are going to be flying. I don't know if UPS has bought us yet or not. Just joking, people. Just joking. But the only thing I can suggest is, keep in contact with your union stewards.
Right.
What you'll find on Two Trailer, sometimes it's hit, sometimes it's missed. I've got to get information. For those of you watching out of Indianapolis, I have the Indianapolis page. I've talked to our BA. We're going to be using that to try to get information to everybody. If you're not in Indianapolis, ignore that page, please. Because what you see for Indy may not and more likely will not apply to you. But we're in this together, to quote an old COVID term, which I hate to this day. We'll try to keep you all updated as much as we can. Take the Facebook and the whatever, take that at face value until you hear something definitive. Then just take it for entertainment purposes only is what I would do. And that's what I am doing. For all of you that are following Two Trailer Trucker, I really appreciate it. I always have and always will, and I hope we can keep this thing going. But same token, too, I'm also a realist. So,
so everybody just keep following the channel. Bink TV, tune in. Wherever I end up at in trucking, I'll still be YouTubing. So just stay in touch, man. Stay tuned to the channel. And life is gonna go on, man. At the end of the day, one way or the other.
Just remember one thing. Just remember one thing. Jobs come and go. Friendships last forever.
True.
So
Exactly.
you've made a lot of friends here. Please stay in touch with them. Because right now they're going to probably need you and you're going to need them more.
Right.
Just to kind of talk things out and vent and all that.
Right.
And believe me, you're going to help a lot of people that way. So just because you don't work at the same place don't mean you can't call and check up on them.
All right.
So thanks a lot, Bake.
Let me get to that. Hey, no weirdos allowed. Two Trailer Trucker Glenn, he does pretty much information based content. I could get a little raggedy. I'm a little bit all over the place. I could get a little bit more raggedy. I'll probably go. JL, you want to go live together after this, or? You got time? But we can probably do it tomorrow or something, man.
No, we got plan on later today.
Later on today, yeah, we can go live later on today.
Because I gotta get ready to go to church, so that's why I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's about that time. So, but yeah, man, I appreciate it, man. Two Trailer Trucker for having me, man, and we'll try to set something up for later on tonight, I guess.
Yeah, email me.
Okay.
Hell, whatever. Anytime tonight. Anything after 12 o'clock, 12 p.m. I'm good to go.
All right, that'll
All
work.
right.
All right,
Thanks a
Glenn.
lot,
Thank you.
everybody. Thanks a lot, everybody, for watching. Hope we've. I don't think we answered very many questions, but I hope whatever we've said here today has helped you. And bye, big. And
Peace. I'm out.
if you need anything, see you later, Jay. Thanks a lot for watching, and keep hope going. We'll see what happens. Have a great day, and we'll talk later. And thank you for watching. TwoTrailerTrucker.com.